Dear brothers and sisters, today we shall consider as to what is the real work of Theosophical Society. There are differences among the members as to what is the real work. Many senior members, those who are working for Theosophical Order of Service, they say TOS is the real practical work of Theosophical Society. The members who are working for education, decent education fellowship, they say education is the real work. Whereas many senior members, those who have deeply studied the theosophical literatures, secret doctrine, Mahatma letters, voice of silence, light on the path, at the feet of master, they say that the real work of the Theosophical Society is to feed the human soul. The TOS, the Theosophical Order of Service, and Besant Education Fellowship is the allied activity of the Theosophical Society. That is not the real and the main work. So let us consider what is the master's point of view regarding this facts. In one of the Mahatma letters, Master Kuthmi has mentioned that Theosophist is a philanthropist. I repeat, Theosophist is a philanthropist, and philanthropist is a person who helps his fellow man in attaining spiritual enlightenment. So here, as per the master's point of view, the real philanthropy is to help the fellow man for spiritual welfare, for spiritual enlightenment. At other place, same master has indicated, while he was writing to a member, the moral and spiritual suffering of the world, needs more our help and care. So this also points out that the real work is moral and spiritual upliftment of the human being. At other place, while master was writing to a lady who was working for Red Cross while healing the injured body, the master wrote to her, "Well, sister, it's good that you are engaged in healing the physical body through Red Cross, but sister, can you see the sickness and wound of the soul which no surgeon's art can cure?" I repeat, sister, can you see the sickness and wound of the soul which no surgeon's art can cure? So will you please come with us and help us in teaching man so that they can heal themselves? While considering the book At the Feet of Master, which is the very first book of the Theosophical literature, and the instructions were directly given by the master while he was preparing to J. Krishnamurti, it says there are two types of persons: one, those who know, and other, those who do not know. Those who do not know, they always hanker for wealth and power, but those who know the God's plan of evolution, which is so wonderful, so glorious and beautiful, that they can't help but working for it. So the masters is also indicating about the God's plan of evolution, evolution of the soul, spiritual evolution. The masters are directly concerned about the spiritual evolution, not only the physical and social and material welfare of human being. The same book at the feet of master says, only wise men can wisely helpful. These are the direct words of the masters. Only wise men can wisely be helpful. And how and who can help the individuals or the fellow man? It says, wisdom enables you to help. Will directs the wisdom, and love inspires the will. So, will, wisdom, and love, these are the great three qualifications which are needed if you are really interested to serve the humanity. A blind man cannot lead a blind man. You have to learn, you have to gain wisdom first. Then only you can help others to have that wisdom, because wisdom is the only thing which can remove the ignorance from the heart of from the mind of the human being, which is the root cause of suffering. Ignorance is the root cause of suffering. At other place, masters have indicated, be a light poured for others, but before showing that light, put your own character in that light. It's also indicating that you have to show light to others. You have to give light, wisdom, understanding to others. But before you can show others, you have to put your own character. You have to reform your own character. You have to understand it. You yourself should have that wisdom. Then only you can help. Only a wise man can be helpful. At other place, Master has indicated, provoke man to right thinking and right living. Provoke man to right thinking and right living. Because when we are rightly thinking, so we will perform right action also, because action is the result of thought. And we are having the right type of living, then we will be escaping from this suffering. So, when right living and right thinking, right understanding is the way to remove the suffering, so you have to help fellow man. You have to provoke fellow man to right thinking and right living. This is direction from the masters. At other place, master has stated that we are interested in a person who is interested in the work in which we are interested. And the masters clearly mentioned that the masters are interested in the spiritual welfare of human being, to remove the suffering from the world. At other place, master mentioned, by helping others, by helping your fellow brothers, win your own salvation. Means you have to help your fellow brothers. And what type of help? What is the philanthropy? To help the fellow man to attaining spiritual enlightenment, to have that wisdom. That is the real work of the Theosophy society. Common search for truth, wisdom, love and bliss. This is the work of Theosophy. This is Theosophy in fact. So if you do not have that theosophical understanding, we are unable to help others. There are many members. They themselves do not have that wisdom, so they don't care or they can't evaluate the value of the wisdom. Now let us consider what are the main objects of the Theosophical Society. Number one, it says, to form the nucleus of universal brotherhood without distinction of caste, creed, sex, race, and color. Number 2, to encourage the study of comparative religion, philosophy, and science. Here, this is the point that you have to encourage others to study religious scriptures, philosophy, and science also. Because if you are unable to know the things scientifically, then it may lead to blind superstitions. And the third object is also very important. It says to investigate the unexplained laws of nature and power latent in man. So you have to understand the unexplained laws of nature, which have not been explained fully, but to try to know the laws of nature, the universal laws which are governing our life. First you know, and then help others in knowing. That is the object of the Theosophical Society. The Theosophical Order of Service, the Patient Education Fellowship, those are the allied activities of the Theosophical Society. They have been coupled. Their objects, aims and objects are separate. So they have not been mixed up. But some senior members now are mixing these two in one. So this should be kept separate. The real work of the Theosophical Society or the Theosophy is to propagate, to disseminate the Theosophical truths. There are also 3 great truths which have been declared by Theosophical leaders. It says, number 1, soul of a man is immortal and his future is the future of a thing whose growth and splendor has no limit. Number 2, the principle which gives life is within and without. It is undying and eternally beneficent. It cannot be seen, heard, or smelled, but it can be perceived by those who desire perception. So you have to understand that principle, which is within and without, which is everywhere, all pervasive, all pervasive. And if you know, then only then we can help others to know. The third great truth is also very important. It's indicating about the law of causation. It says, each man is his own absolute lawgiver, dispenser of glory and gloom to himself, decreer of his life, his reward, and his punishment. So, we have to teach the man that whatever glory and gloom we are facing, we ourselves are responsible. It is the result of our karma. So, until unless we know the implication of the law of karma, the law of causation, first we know, then we help others to know. Only then we can have a happy and blissful and a cheerful life. Madame Blavatsky, the founder of the Theosophical Society, co-founder of the Theosophical Society, she also mentioned 3 fundamental propositions in Secret Doctrine. As you know, Secret Doctrine was dictated by the masters, so we have to take it very seriously that these are the words of the masters. 3 fundamental propositions. Number 1 says, unity of whole existence. There is one principle, underlying principle in all living and material things, is omnipresent, omnipotent, omniscient, boundless, eternal, whether you call it beingness or isness or truth or Parbrahman, but it is there. The entire cosmos, the entire Brahman is the manifestation of the one and the same principle. So you have to know that this is the real law of unity. The second fundamental proposition says the eternity of universes in toto. The universes, so many, countless universes, countless solar systems, countless galaxies. They are appearing and disappearing and reappearing. This drama is going on for eternity. So you have to understand this whole cosmos, the whole manifested universe. And this whole universe is the manifestation expression of the one and the same principle. Unity and diversity. A person who can see the unity in diversity, he really sees the things rightly. The third fundamental proposition is also very important. It says the soul of a man, or the individual soul, or the souls of all human beings are perfectly identical with the overall universal soul. The life cannot be divided into parts. Life is one. The consciousness is one. The universal consciousness is the only thing. The individual consciousness are the centers or the focus in that universal consciousness. And the individual soul or the individual consciousness is perfectly identical. It has all the qualities, it has all the faculties and powers, though it may be dormant, but it is perfectly identical with the universal oversoul. So these are the three fundamental propositions. First you know, let us know these fundamental propositions and then help others to know. There are also subtler laws. Madam Blavatsky has mentioned about the subtler laws of nature which are governing our life. There are countless laws which are governing our life, but mainly 7 great laws she has mentioned in Secret Doctrine. Number 1, the law of unity. The whole existence is one, and whosoever will break this unity or work against this unity, he will be broken into pieces. So let us work. Our actions, our thoughts, our feelings should be with this understanding that this wholeness of things, wholeness of life, whole existence is one. The second law, when that one manifested, it becomes many. So oneness and manyness stands together. You can see oneness and manyness at the same time. So though it has been manifested in many forms, but still there is underlying unity. So you should know the law of manifestation. And the third is the law of involution. When it's manifested, the higher principle comes down to the material level. We call it involution, involvement. And because of the involvements, it suffers limitations. So this is third. Fourth law is the law of evolution. When it has come down to the material level, it will grow. It will take a U-turn. We call it the law of evolution. It is evolving towards greater and greater perfection, and finally it go back to the infinite. Then there is also a law of karma, law of position. As you sow, so shall you reap. The thoughts, actions and feelings, whatever we perform, and accordingly we will face the result. So we should understand the law of karma also, so that we can escape suffering. Then there is also law of incarnation, because this evolutionary process, the evolution of the soul, cannot be completed in one incarnation. So the nature is very kind. It has given us many chances. So there is also provision for the reincarnation. Again and again we will come and we will try to know the things. Then there is also a law of love and compassion. When we understand that there is one life, one unity, one law, then there is a natural understanding of the wholeness of life. So there is a natural flow of love and compassion, and that love and compassion is expressed in the form of service to help our fellow men so that they can also know. And finally, the law of sacrifice. We have to understand the law of sacrifice. In the beginning, sacrifice is a painful process, but when we really understand it, that the more we give, The more we help, the more we will gain, more we will receive. This is law of sacrifice, law of compensation, you can also call it. Then we are helping, and that giving and the sacrifice is not a painful process, but it becomes the joyful progression. So these are the really things which we understand first, and the person who really knows the laws of nature, knows the truth, and have the wisdom, and has entered into the blissful state, he can only help others to know. So this is a common search for truth. So let us help our fellow brothers in knowing the truth, wisdom, and reaching the permanent or everlasting state of happiness. Some of the points I have put before you in show, please consider it and then understand it. And by understanding as to what is the real theosophy and what is the work of the Theosophy Society, then engage in the rightful action. Thank you very much. Hmm?